Hello, Dr. Grind, Godfather, HR3, come to the studio, please. It's time to go live.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nation.
And good morning, golfing world. George Honeycutt, the Godfather. With me, as always, my two brothers from two different mothers, HR3 and Mr. Al Cloyd. Hey, y'all doing? Well, look, Ma, I'm on TV. This could get ugly quick. I'm going to make you hurl before the day's over with.
What's your issue here?
I smell vermin poontang.
You gotta love it. I mean, if y'all are not entertained out there.
You know, I've often thought of becoming a golf club.
You need to go see Al Cloyd.
I noticed your grips were worn, sir. I should have mentioned to you before. I could put some stickum on there for you. It's my fault.
No, you want to know? Here you go.
No.
I'm going to give you the expertise.
Hey, I should have stayed home and played with myself.
No, you got to finish, dude. No, you got to finish.
You're doing it. I ain't touching it. Nope.
Here.
I ain't touching it. Nope. Here.
Your wife is one of the more beautiful women in the world.
I have no argument there. She is.
You outpunted your coverage.
What's your issue here?
I'm not a professional.
Right.
I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night, but I'm not a professional.
You think this is a soap opera or something?
Give me a set of those, a pair of those, and a box of those, and let me have some of those naked lady tees. Moving on.
I am the same one. What's your issue here? You're doing it. I ain't touching it. Nope.
Here.
I ain't touching it. Nope.
Here.
Nope. Good try. How many breaths do you think you're going to need when you die?
One.
Quit wasting them.
Yeah.
Because you realize you are going
But I'm
round
trying
and
to
around.
provide good air.
Yeah, you're trying to provide good air, but you're
right.
answering your own questions.
Well, if you jump in and talk.
Well, I'm just letting you lay the groundwork because I'm
You
telling
done said
you.
the rest of the show was mine.
It
damn
was. But, I mean, I don't want you to have a heart attack because I ain't giving you ugly ass mouth to mouth.
Al will do it.
Cannonball coming.
Broadcasting from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, this is TGD Today. And now, please welcome Hero the Third,
HR3,
Al Cloyd,
Dr. Grind,
George Honeycutt, the Godfather.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
You're doing it. I ain't touching it. Nope.
Here.
I ain't touching it. Nope.
Here.
Nope. Good try.
And good morning, golfing world. Welcome to TGD Today. It's the roundtable here at thegolfdirector.com. George Honeycutt, your host, along with, of course, Hugh Roy III and Dr. Grind, Mr. Al Cloyd. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, sir.
How's everything?
Doing good.
Fantastic. We're kind of all wearing black today. Got black and red, got gray and red, got black on black.
Closest thing to UGA we can get, brother.
Well, we're trying. We try to keep the spirit.
Absolutely.
So they had a good recruiting class.
They did.
Yeah,
They did.
Not bad. Didn't beat Alabama, but had a good recruiting class. I was quite impressed. So, guys, before we get started on the roundtable, of course, we talk about anything and everything, but wanted to remember a gentleman, a legend in our sport, Mr. Charlie Sifford, and I wanted to tell you a story. I had the opportunity of playing with Mr. Sifford. Played 18 holes, actually rode in the cart with him for the entire round. We were playing with Hank Aaron and his agent.
Okay.
And this was a pro-am type, celebrity type charity event in Atlanta. And got paired with them, didn't ask for it, just got paired with them. And Charlie was an interesting man. We took us 5 hours to play 18 holes, and then we spent 2.5 hours in the clubhouse afterwards. And the stories you heard, it was pretty amazing.
Well, you think about it, George. I mean, the time and the era that he came up in, us being older, we understand, the things, the crossroads and the bumps and the blockades that they had. And for him to do what he did and to win, a couple of times on the tour. And
he did win twice, and in his 40s.
For him, when he died and reading the stuff on Facebook and whatnot about him being the Martin Luther King of golf and, he paved the road for Calvin Peete,
sure he did.
Lee Elder and those guys. And, it's a pretty amazing individual if you look at all of his accomplishments and all his accolades.
What was impressive is I out of respect for Charlie, during the entire round, I didn't ask any questions or controversial questions or bring up anything or whatever. I just noted his swing. Of course, he was in his late 60s, early 70s when I played with him. But my goodness, what a beautiful golf swing. One thing I did note, and I told Jeff this before we went on the air, he played the entire round. Every shot he played, he had the cigar in his mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Putting, driving, chipping, didn't matter. He had that cigar in his mouth. Now, it wasn't lit the whole time, but he had the cigar in his mouth. And his ball flight was very impressive, even at that age. It was just a low beaming shot. He always would sit in the cart and tell me his philosophy on hitting golf balls. You know, that there was a flatness to the golf swing, that he wanted to make sure he was flat at the bottom. And, you know, I just remember that, and I'm sitting here. I'm a high ball hitter, you know, and he's going, I don't know how you even play this game. He goes, if I hit my ball that high, the wind would just take it and it'd go away like Dorothy on The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
You know, he'd make comments like that. So what a unique individual. But then when we got back into the clubhouse afterwards and we were, you know, they were handing out the prizes and this, that, and the other, Mr. Sifford had asked me to join them at the table, which I thought was really nice. And Hank and his agent and several other people that were with Hank were sitting there, but Hank would get up and mosey around and say hello. Mr. Sifford just sat there.
Right.
And he was not guarded about his opinions of the PGA Tour and of the days back when it was basically by law, on the PGA Tour that he wasn't allowed to play. And he didn't hold anything back as far as his opinions about that.
I mean, they didn't let him in the locker room, George, for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to get dressed and do all their stuff in the trunk of their car. I mean, they weren't literally, like you said, I mean, not allowed to play. They wouldn't let them on certain parts of the property.
Well, yeah, there were certain clubs that they weren't allowed in the clubhouse.
Correct.
There were certain clubs that they weren't allowed to even eat in the same areas that the other players were, the white players were. Interestingly, I didn't ask him any of this.
I'm with
you.
you.
He told me. He just, because once he started talking, he didn't shut up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one story went to another, and then his opinions about this and about that. He started talking about Tiger. He started talking about players of today versus, and again, this was 10 years ago plus, but his, you know, he called them the flat bellies now, and across the board, and he made the comment about European players. He made, and not in so much as the Ryder Cup, but just in the fact that how golf has internationally just, you know, just boomed, and how so many good players are from the rest of the world and not just the U.S. anymore. And so many people mistakenly think that the golf was born in the United States, and, you know, it's nowhere close to that.
And it's, you know, a lot of what he says has a lot of count to it, George, because, you know, going to South Africa for all those years, I mean, there were tons, I mean, probably, you know, 100, 150 African players in South Africa that were great players, and they were not allowed in the clubhouse with us. And it's just, you know, you're talking in the early 90s.
Right.
Now, that was in South Africa?
In South Africa. And, I mean, these guys
Now, I
could
didn't know
golf
that.
their ball. I mean, could really golf their
Sure,
ball. And
sure.
some of the nicest guys, and you know, and just to think what.
But let's say they were of darker color from the Indian persuasion or from another country. I mean, was that the same?
Same way that, yes, exactly.
So it was either Caucasian or nothing.
Or you ate at the caddy pen. And you notice now, I mean, and I think a lot of it has developed just because of it's more relaxed on the regular tour. But, you know, from those days with Mr. Sifford, I mean, a lot of the guys go and eat at the caddy trailer. The food's actually probably better, and it's the camaraderie that's there. And that's where you went to get to know these people.
Right.
And that was all that they had. And, you know, to know for the younger generation that's out now, you know, they may have heard of the name Charlie Sifford, and they've read about him now, you know, on social media.
Right.
But they don't realize what these men went through.
Well, this guy,
they're pioneers in their era.
Oh, yeah.
In playing golf for, you know, the African American people.
Mr. Sifford made the comment to me as he was talking. He goes, I can't tell you the number of times that it was suggested to me that I quit playing and start caddying.
Oh,
That
yeah.
my place was actually as a caddy, and that I had such a knowledge of the golf swing that I could make a lot of money by going out and playing with the more influential industrial whites.
They didn't want him there.
No, I mean, they just people kept coming to him, and he said, George, I had to make money.
Yep.
And so the way he made his money was he just went out and got in bets, and he basically played golf every day of the week in these little $100 games. And, back then the money was $100 was a lot of money.
Big bucks.
But he said, every once in a while I'd get some sucker and, go out and I'd give him 4 a side and, end up I'd beat him by 12 and I'd win $1,000. And he said that took care of my family for a month.
Yeah.
He said, so anything I made above that, I just added on to carry us the next month. So it was really one of those people that you meet that you kind of see the evolution of our world living through his eyes.
In his eyes,
yeah. And it definitely is. It definitely is an evolution because, I mean, I'll never forget coming back from South Africa and getting invited to go play in a golf tournament called the Ted Rhodes. It was up in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a black professional golf tournament. And, there were about 10 of us that got invited to play in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good purse. Wasn't too expensive to get in, but it was a really good purse. You talk about understanding how they felt when they were coming up and because we were the minority.
That's
in
what
that
I was
golf
just fixing to say.
tournament,
You were the minority.
And, you appreciated a lot more things. And I tell you what, they treated us a lot better than they were treated
I imagine.
back in the days. And it really helped me to understand, what they went through. I mean, even look at Calvin Pete in his heyday.
Yeah.
He was never he was a great player and good ball, hit the ball great, a lot of fairways, but was never given the respect.
Calvin Pete didn't miss a fairway.
I understand that. But
and the reason he was
TPC
shown
and all that, and never given the respect for the player and the individual he was.
I'm going to continue on with that. Being in the media for as long as I have been, and you guys now, of course, being around the game, but you remember they only showed Calvin tokenly in tournaments back then because of him falling out of the tree, breaking his arm, not getting it set right, and that led to his golf swing. And so they would tell that story every event that they were televising that Calvin was in, or especially if he was kind of up there within the top 20 of the leaderboard. But other than that, you didn't know if Calvin was playing that week or not.
Yeah, exactly. And
he just was not given the airtime.
He wasn't. Yeah. But when he went out and won TPC and he pretty much lapped the field, they didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
And that was
But you sit and look at Calvin's performance during his years on the tour. He was there every week.
Oh, yeah,
he was there every week. A money machine.
I mean, he
couldn't miss a fairway,
Cup, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he was a Ryder Cup member. I mean, the guy could play golf, and
he couldn't miss a fairway.
And it goes back.
It was impossible.
But it goes back to what you're saying. That's where Mr. Sifford laid the groundwork for the opportunities that came along for Lee Elder, Calvin Pete, and
Tiger Woods,
Big Tiger, and there's a lot of things that are changing, and the First Tee is helping do that as well right now.
Yeah.
Getting kids of different persuasions involved in the game of golf, and that all bases back to Mr. Sifford, what he went through and how he helped to build and pave this road.
Mr. Sifford made another comment about Tiger that was interesting because when we played together, Tiger was going through his, you don't want to say peak, but he was going through his life was great, got married, he was winning everything he played in, number one in the world. No. It was Tiger's world, And Mr. Sifford goes, I hope the young man doesn't let the money and the celebrity get to him. He said, I hope he stays grounded. He said his daddy's an Army personnel.
Right.
He was brought up in a very strict home, very respectful of elders and things of that sort. And he goes, every time I've seen the young man, he's always been very respectful. I just hope he doesn't let the money and the notoriety and the celebrity status get to him.
Well,
and lo and behold,
if he's not getting grounded now, George, it's not going to happen. Because
that's
right. He's hit rock bottom now. So
he has.
It's time to get.
But it was interesting that Mr. Sifford back then, was saying this will be his downfall. This will be it. You know, whether it's going out and chasing women or whatever it may be, but this will be his downfall. And then he left it alone. That's all he said. I mean, it was like these little genius pearls that he was just dropping, you know. And some of his comments about, he even started giving me a download of about 30, 35 seconds on my golf swing. Boy, you should have heard that. I would love to recount it for you, but I go to a dark place.
There's not enough
I think
space on this iPad or enough note paper to write it down.
Yeah,
so,
no kidding. But what an interesting, I've played a lot of celebrity events. I play with a lot of interesting people, including Hank Aaron. I mean, Hank Aaron's one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. Hank's a wonderful guy. Does he touch Mr. Sifford? No. No way, shape, or form.
No. I mean, the man was like I said, he's a pioneer for golf for the African American generation and race, and I think that everything that
a humble man,
very humble, but I think every accolade and every prayer and every comment that you've seen towards him has been nothing but positive, and it just proves, no matter what happens, you are who you are, and if you stick to your morals and you stay, like he said, stay grounded, and you treat people the way you want to be treated, it comes back to
in
a
definitely.
positive way. So
the last couple of days, everybody's been voicing their comments and your prayers and best wishes and all that, and all I can say is rest in peace, Mr. Sifford. Rest in peace.
Yes, sir.
So anything else going on?
A lot of chaos.
A lot of chaos.
You're
getting cranked up now. You're getting ready to head over to Possum along with Shaftesbury, along with Heather Glenn Dornick. You're getting all that done. You start up the 7th. Is that right?
I start up Monday the 9th. I'm going to be out of
the 9th,
town this weekend with some students down in Hilton Head at the Junior Heritage, so I'll be gone this weekend. But come back.
You've been busier than a one-armed coat hanger lately, haven't you?
Yes, sir. I've been really blessed. I mean, it's
getting ready to get worse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're getting ready to change. We're gonna have it to where Big Al's.
Well, I send all my
around.
work to Al, and I guess I'm gonna have to start pulling back now. I'm gonna have to find somebody else.
No, please don't.
No, you ain't gonna be pulling back.
Don't.
But I tell you, we're gonna get it where he's gonna be running around like a chicken with his head cut off over at Possum Trot. So.
Yeah,
cool.
So it's exciting news. So that gets started literally in the next several days.
Next week. Yep.
Yeah, and so you're running down to Hilton Head this weekend, aren't you?
Yep, going down for the Junior Heritage.
One of your students is playing?
Haley Cleary's playing.
Okay.
She ranked 10th in the state. And we've done a lot of hard work to kind of get her back after she took her break. She hadn't played very well since she took her little break, kind of got burned out from this summer, and try to get her back on the winning track. And I told her, I said, it's a perfect place. I said, because number one, I know the golf course, so I'll be there, tomorrow morning to help her with her practice round. And I said, and the golf course fits you.
Yeah.
And, it's one that it's one of my favorites, bar none. And I said, we'll get down there and get ready to go.
Good.
So we'll go down there. I get to see my good friend Sam Wolf, who's a head pro at the Arthur Hills course at Palmetto Dunes, and stay with him and catch up. And be kind of a dual weekend. Get to see friends and get to go work, too. So it'll be nice.
Now, yesterday you played in the golf directors outing, and that was up at Sandpiper?
It's Sandpiper, and I tell you what, I give them credit. I tell you what, their new superintendent and what he's done with those greens, they might be the quickest Bermuda greens in the Grand Strand area at the moment. They were phenomenal.
Good.
Now, they're the hardest things in the world. I thought Shaftesbury's greens were hard to read. These were harder to read, but I tell you what, they were good. Very good. It was just stroke it and let it roll, and off it went.
Fantastic. It's always a fun to play Sandpiper.
It's a fun golf course. It really, really is.
Yeah.
We've got some great golf courses right in that North Carolina area, just right over the South Carolina border.
Yeah, North Myrtle, right over the border. Yeah.
Great.
I'm going out this Saturday to Crow Creek, taking the Saturday golf group to Crow Creek.
Yep. Got the Thistle up there, too. It's a beautiful course.
Yep.
So it's a great area.
Yeah, I just every time I hear now Crow Creek talked about, everybody talks about the bunkers. That's all they talk about.
Well, they were actually, that came up in the meeting last night.
Did it really?
Yeah, it's Sandpiper. They're talking about eliminating bunkers and filling them in with grass and doing stuff like that, and making them
cheaper
pot bunkers that way. And they all said, we wish we could afford to do what Crow Creek did, because those bunkers are phenomenal. But we were lucky enough to go test them, and when they were looking at it, and
I think you agree with
amazing.
me. They are tour quality, if not nothing else. But I think they're even better than some of the tour sites that I've played at.
Oh, I don't think there's a question. I mean, when you can hit it into a bunker and it doesn't bury,
nah.
it's just.
And this is after an inch of rain.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
literally
a good
20 minutes later.
You know, the combination and the way they've done it, they're phenomenal.
Beautiful.
Phenomenal.
Beautiful. All right, guys.
Awesome.
Anything else?
No, just kind of chilling and getting ready for this week. You know, a lot going on there in San Diego and everybody out there. So, and we're going to talk about that later. But you know, just
and everybody's been busy. I mean, the atmosphere around, a lot of golfers down here right now. You know, it's just they're buying golf clubs. Mm-hmm. They're making changes to their golf clubs, and we're going to talk more about that in Tech Talk and in future shows coming up. So it's an exciting time right now, dude.
I'd like to add one thing if I could, guys.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned on the golf courses and how busy it is. Right now, because we have a package operation here at the Golf Director, and there are several courses that you can't get rounds on in the peak weeks. Coming up this spring.
Oh, yeah.
And
April, May are going to be crazy.
There have been accommodations that have been full for peak weeks around the golf courses for 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So for folks that are thinking you can wait to the last minute and come and get your pick of where you want to play, those days are gone, dude.
Yeah.
The golf business is back in Myrtle Beach.
Yep.
Things are
Thank
good.
goodness.
Now, there's some courses out there where you can get there are still tee times there. But we just want to encourage everybody that listens to this kind of stuff to, just call Dave. George will tell you how here in just a minute.
Yeah.
But this is going to be one very busy season in the Myrtle Beach area for the golf business this year.
It's exciting.
Yeah, one of the busiest yet.
Yeah,
nice
I
to
think
see
so.
it back, that's for sure.
Yeah, I get a call yesterday. A buddy of mine went to play Waterway Hills. Couldn't get on.
Yep.
200 rounds yesterday.
Yep. And they're going to be closing that course.
Grab that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that course
200. He sits there and goes, George, you know someplace I can get on? Yeah. He said, I can't get on at Waterway. Yeah. That's crazy. He's local.
Yeah.
Local guy. So
y'all get a kick out of this. I got to tell this little story. My wife, she works at Possum Trot, and she does 1 day a week inside the booking tee times.
Mm-hmm.
So lo and behold, she gets a call from somebody from West Virginia, and they were down at Azalea Sands. And he says he's talking about the new cups, the larger cups.
Yeah, 8-inch cups.
He said, "This ain't no dang game of golf." He said the holes are the size of beach balls. He said.
That's funny.
They were trying to get to a regular golf course. So this is the first
regular golf course.
A regular golf course. This is the first time that they had seen this bigger hole, and he did not like it. Matter of fact, he used a few choice words, and
and I've heard the other side of the coin too, Al. I've heard several guys that have gone out there and played the 8-inch holes, and they think it's fun. It's a change of pace.
Okay.
Because they can make putts.
Well, it's quicker round of golf.
It's a quicker round of golf. They shoot lower scores, and the question even came to me one time after somebody played there, said, why don't they use this on the tour? Why don't
Yep.
We want to see numbers in the 50s. That'll do it.
So it's very interesting. It's just something different.
I agree. Though
it's got its place.
I like his beach ball.
Definitely.
I like his beach ball comment.
That was something different
for a guy that's keeping up with his handicap. You don't go there and play.
Well, you can't.
Yeah.
By our rules right now.
Yeah.
But who knows? That
it's
change
definitely different. For somebody who wants something different, that's their route to travel.
Yeah. Yep. So I appreciate you bringing it up. I like the beach ball comment. Yeah. All right, guys. TGD Radio and TV are produced and broadcast by the Zeus Radio Network for thegolfdirector.com. When visiting the Golf Director, be sure to navigate over to our featured course pages where you'll find up-to-date information about course condition, specials, and much more. Hey, as Jeff mentioned earlier, if you need help with your next golf vacation, you better give us a call at 844-GO-GOLF-1, 844-464-6531, and ask for Dave. Is that right, guys? Ask for Dave?
Just ask Dave.
Just ask for Dave. All of our TGD programming is archived for listening and viewing on demand. Catch up on any show you may have missed. Click on the TGD Radio or the TGD TV tabs in the menu screen at thegolfdirector.com. George Honeycutt, HR3, Dr. Grind, Al Cloyd. We want to thank Jeff behind the glass, and we thank you for tuning in. There's much more TGD news and information coming up next.